and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 163. I'm pretty sure last week I said that, but it wasn't. I got the numbers wrong. Numbers are hard. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside Gatorade's Get Hype Moments himself, Snow Bike Mike. How are you, Snow Bike Mike?
I'm feeling good, Fix. We had a great week, a big week in the gaming world, and now I'm excited to talk about it with you and then look forward to the holidays. We got some new game releases that I cannot wait to get my hands on.
So, I woke up this morning, it's like, oh crap, I ain't done the show notes. I'm like, oh, okay, it's fine. And then I'm like, looking through IGN, and there's not much news. I'm like, oh god, there's no news. And I'm like, wait a minute. We had the Game Awards, we had the Kind of Funny Game Showcase. There's plenty to talk about this week. We got plenty to talk about. As you all know, this is our weekly Xbox podcast. And if you want it early, as soon as we record it, you can head over to patreon.com/mcfixer. You can get the audio early, you can get the video early, you can get thank you videos, you can get a ton of good stuff there. I still know about Mike's address to send him something. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting. It's coming, alright? It's coming. Apart from that, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/mcfixer and youtube.com/snowbikemike. You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and of course, Spotify. The show goes live every Friday on those platforms for non-Patreon supporters. Let's get straight into it and what we've been playing. So what has been in your box this week, Mike? What have you been playing?
I got 2 games on my Xbox going down. Of course, Just Cause 4, I jumped back into that. I gave you my early impressions. And really, we had a busy week, so I didn't play too much of it, but I did have one thing on my mind. I told you in Just Cause 3, I broke the timer and the world record for longest wingsuit ever in that video game. Well, guess what? Just Cause 4, I set out on that same mission. Fix, I unfortunately can report to you that I did not break the timer, but I did set a long record of 36 minutes wingsuiting straight. So I hope to come back, try to break the timer. The mechanics are a little bit different, a little more squirrely, a little bit quicker on the touch there. So you got to be really paying attention. I felt like in Just Cause 3, you could kind of mind zone out and just kind of go fluid with it. This one, it's very touchy on the sticks. So I got to stay focused. And I'll tell you, 36 minutes was tough. I had 7, 8, 9, 12, 18, 19, and then the 36-minute run. So I was there for about an hour to an hour and a half of really trying to make this happen. And I probably could have made it go longer, but I just missed out on my final reach out with the grappling hook. And I missed my record that I wanted.
So are you going to go for the record, though? Like, at some point, do you think you're definitely going to go for it?
I would say this week you will see a video up on my Twitter or any sort of social media of me breaking this time clock. So it will happen this week. I'm very excited to get back into it.
I'll be watching closely. So how's the story, though, in Just Cause 4? I'm obviously not a Just Cause fan. I played dibble-dabbled in them, but not one that I was looking forward to this year. How's the story? How is the gameplay? Is it any good?
I think the gameplay is incredible. The gameplay is big, wild, and fun for sure. I think the shooting is on point. I think the grappling hook, the parachuting, the squirrel shooting is a lot of fun. And the added mechanic of the tornado really changes things up. It goes from just like, the bland open world type feel where it's just kind of driving or doing the squirrel suit move. Then all of a sudden, now you get this tornado and you want to drive into it. You want to parachute into it. I was flying planes into it. I mean, I was doing everything possible with the tornado. So I think that's a great addition. The story in this kind of game, it's good. It looks like it's like a fun, we're going to take on this small little narrative, but it's definitely not the centerpiece of the video game. The gameplay itself is the only thing I'm focused on. As you can tell, I'm doing 36 minutes of squirrel suit. So really, the story's probably second nature to me.
Fair enough. That's pretty much what you want, though, right? The gameplay is the squirrel shooting, the craziness, the grappling hooking around it. That is what that game is, right? And obviously with the tornado, that's obviously just adding to all that. The story is just sort of there. It's there. You need it in there to have a story arc to get from A to B, but it doesn't seem like it's what people really care about in the Just Cause games.
100% Fix. I think your main goal is to see the whole map, take out all the fortresses, the outposts, do all the crazy stuff that you could do as the side quest. I would be blown away to meet somebody who was like, I'm in it for Rico Rodriguez's story, and that's the only thing I'm here for. It's like playing a Far Cry game. Most of those games, the story's there to lead you along, but you get lost on the side doing weird things,
How dare you? Far Cry 3's story was amazing, and I loved it. I'll admit that 4 and 5s was okay, but still, all right. But still, I get what you're saying. No, I totally get what you're saying. The only thing I've played this week on my Xbox, obviously Rainbow Six, obviously FIFA. They're boring ones, so don't worry about that. Again, I feel like I'm just gonna stop saying those at this point. If you want to hear me talk about that, email in. Otherwise, yes, I'm playing those games. Anyway. I played a little game called Mutant Year Zero: The Road to Eden, which is a turn-based strategy XCOM-like game. I've never played XCOM before. I watched Kresh play it, Kreshnik, twitch.tv/Kreshnik. Watch him play XCOM, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I've always been into these type of games, but I'm not somebody that, again, as I said on the pre-show for the kind of funny game showcase that we did, thinking, not my best strategy, I'll be honest with you. I'm much better when I just go into things. So for me, I started playing and I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to play it on hard. It was like normal, hard, very hard. So I'll play it on hard because, you know, why not? And I was just getting my teeth kicked in. Like, let me tell you, I was like, oh my god, this game is hard. This is not a joke. So put it down to normal, still got my teeth kicked in. But the game is so much fun, dude. It is so good looking. So good looking. It is, obviously the mechanics are simple enough for a noob, but I feel like in depth enough for people that want to get into the nitty gritty of those type of games. And the world they've built there and the story is what actually sucked me in, which I was not expecting. I was not expecting it at all. I really love where I've probably played it for about 5 hours, but I probably only about, I'd say probably an hour and a half into the story, because I just keep dying. I am dying a lot. But yeah, have you played it at all?
Oh, yes. So that's my second game in my box. Of course, shout out to Xbox Game Pass for making that all possible.
The only reason why I'm playing this game.
We talked about it last week. I was going to buy this game regardless if it was on Xbox Game Pass because I was into the aesthetic of it all. I love XCOM, and I'm also very similar to you, Fix. I don't really like that slow, methodical gameplay. Sometimes I just want to get into the action.
Yeah.
That's really my kind of brand and my style. But I've fallen in love with XCOM 1 and 2. I started to play this game, and man, I love this one, Fix. I'm amazed that you're playing it on hard because I could never do that.
I've gone down to normal. I've gone down to normal. Okay. It was really hard on hard. I've gone down to normal.
But I like it because I think it's more the barrier to entry isn't like, man, you look at XCOM and you're like, man, that's so tactical. That's so slow. Mm-hmm. This one, I love the over-the-top worldview where you can run around, you're looting items from the side, then you can go set up an ambush, as opposed to XCOM where you literally go from one point to the map to the other point and you're just dropped into the grid base. There is no walking around. The story isn't like, hey, we're going to talk. We got all these voice actors to make these characters seem relevant. It's like in XCOM, you get a soldier. If he dies, we move on to the next one.
Dude, just to touch on the voice acting is fantastic in this game. Everything, like I say, what they've done from a world building experience for this game, I was just totally shocked. I was not expecting to care about the characters, Dax and Belmont. I think I said that right. I think it's Belmont. I didn't care. The whole world in general was just like, I actually care about what's going on. I love the items that are being picked up. It's like a refrigerator or a boombox, and they're like, the ancients have left this. This is a refrigerator. It was to keep things cold, and it's done in a serious tone, but with like a underline of humor. Where it's like, the character who is speaking is like, oh my god, I can't believe I found this. It's so, this is a magical piece of gear. But the way it's written is quite humorous as well, I found. I don't know if you had the same thing.
No, I felt that the moment you get the boombox, which is one of your first ones, he's like, oh, stay away from that. They called it a boombox because it explodes. And you're like, well, I don't think that's what it was. And like the two of them are kind of looking at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the voice acting. I think that adds such a huge touch to it. Instead of just being nameless soldiers like we talked about in XCOM, like you're falling in love with these characters. And man, the world, the aesthetic of all these characters are so out there, so different, so crazy, that really got me invested. And I'm really digging it, Fixed. And I think what made me love it so much is that top-down get the worldview where you can walk around and loot around like I touched on. That one broke up the monotony for me and really got me indulged in the story and the landscape. So that saved it for me. And I'm loving it. I'm still early.
Yeah.
Can't wait to give it more time though.
Yeah, like I say, I'm still very, very early, like super early. But for some reason, I just want to keep playing. I just want to keep going and keep going and keep going. And it's really sucked me in. I think about it quite a lot where I'm like, oh. And like I was playing it so much and I weren't doing a lot of damage, I forgot to go back to the hub world to then go and upgrade weapons. And then like there's a whole sort of there's a whole story in just the hub world as well. The characters in there, and it's just so much fun. If you've got Xbox Game Pass, you have to check out Mutant Year Zero 100%. If you're into tactical turn-based games, it is extremely hard, but when you win a battle or when you do it, it's extremely rewarding in my opinion.
Oh, so cool. And you touched on it too, like the underlying extra detail that they have, from even a skill tree to the weapon upgrades. Like there's a lot going on in that game that you could either play at the base level, like me and Fix just running around shooting, or you can really dive in there and you can start reading up on the lore, the myth. You can upgrade skills. There's a lot going on in this game. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah, just last thing on this is like the testament to how good the game is for me, as we all know, hate reading, hate collectibles in those regards. I hate it. But I do sit there, I'm streaming the game, but when I'm sitting there, and my chat's perfect, they don't take the piss out of me or nothing like that, thankfully. But when I'm sat there, I'm reading it out, I'm like, oh, this is actually really interesting. Like there's subplot stories going on through these notes, which are interesting. They're not just like, hey, honey, there's like this one which is quite funny, not a spoiler really, but there's one where he's like, oh, I think he left the dog in the car or something like that, and the dog passed away, and he replaced the dog, and then like didn't tell his wife, but then he died, so he was trying to leave a note to let the wife know that's not her actual dog. It's just like, this is fun. This is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Enjoying it.